Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Acalytica Lounge brought to you by Acalytica. So, this is a place where we talk about a lot of different things from technology, that is, artificial intelligence, data science, the latest networking, cybersecurity, and everything to entrepreneurship, marketing, and stuff like that. So, we have really a big variety of topics that we talk about. But today, I just want to talk about the anxiety that people are feeling as a result of AI. To say, what does this mean for us as a teacher? What does it mean for me as a music producer or musician? What does this mean for me? So there's one thing that I want to zone into, which is the shift from Web 2.0 uh, all the way to generative AI. So that is very important to take into perspective because if you look at, for example, content, the way we interact with content has changed because at the beginning you find that we couldn't even curate our own songs. I mean, would listen to radio, for example, and radio, they would have a playlist, they would have programs, and you'd have appointment listening, and if it was TV, it was appointment watching, such that you had no control whatsoever. You were at the mercy of the broadcaster, of the people that were behind the scenes and actually creating those schedules for you. Then, when the record came out, that is the vinyls, you could play your own songs. Uh, so there was an element of curation, but still, you couldn't even objectively skip. Let's say if it's one of those big, not the seven singles, but the big album one where it's got multiple songs, it was touch and go guesswork as to where the next song actually is and stuff like that. So that was really difficult in terms of curation of what we wanted to listen to. Then when the cassette came, it was a little bit better. Then the CD came through. Then we had a bit of control where we could just at the click of a button we could move to the next song, and yeah. So in the process, there was a refinement of content consumption creation, basically, right? And this was really good because we had some level of control. And then when the the iPod came through with the MP3, oh, that was a game changer because now we could curate in a way that we had never witnessed before, and we could do it on a little device that we could carry everywhere. It was such an upgrade from the Walkman, right? So it means that we perfected the art of curation, right? So that's a form of personalization that happened from the days of radio only up to the iPod, right? Then you had the music stores, your iTunes, Spotify's, and stuff like that. There was even a greater curation that you could do, and there was a lot of analytics as well. So you knew what was good for you to listen, or there were recommend systems as well that would recommend playlists to you or songs based on what you've consumed before. So there was personalization, but now when ChatGPT, generative AI, transformer inspired AI came through, now that changed because it was no longer just about curation, right? Because if you look at it, I mean, I'm using music as an example, but if you look at it, even courses, online courses, what was happening was that uh, those MOOCs, remember when they came out, the MOOCs, your Coursera's, your edX, and them, they were curating information because all the information was now available online. Like what one famous economist said that the Web 2.0 brought through an almost near zero marginal cost to acquisition of information, right? So now that information was readily available, we didn't need to walk distances to get an encyclopedia. There was Wikipedia. There was all the social media networks, these MOOCs. So it means the job of the university at that time was now to curate, or the teacher was now not to be a fountain of knowledge, but to be a curator of knowledge, because information was readily available on YouTube and all the other platforms. So that was the duty of the teacher. And there was still a very, very top down approach to knowledge dissemination as well, in as much as it was readily available. So now, when Gen AI came, it changed the game, because it's no longer just about curation, it's about creation, right? So now there's hyper personalization, where anyone can be a creator plus curator, you know? So that's the fundamental difference, that anything that you've consumed, that you've passively consumed, that needed experts to create, now you can also create. And you don't need to be an expert in that for you to be able to create, because uh, the cumulative, the aggregate knowledge of humanity has been absorbed by these large language models, such that it is readily available for use. So that means that your output is as good as your prompt. So all you now have to do is to query this common knowledge that is there within the large language models. That is what you're supposed to now use to just create, right? In a few words, you can create a website. I mean, look at lovable.dev, look at Cursor, all these Sora, right? Through words, you can create a video. Through words, you can create an image. And the game has changed. So that means that now we are not just personalizing via curation, but we're personalizing via creation and curation. Now, if you're in a good mood and you say, okay, this is the mood I'm in, you don't have to listen to an established musician. You can just create your own music based on your own mood, and you can specify exactly how you want it, and at what speed, at what, you can curate your own songs. I mean, if you go to suno.com, you'll see that you can actually create music just like that in a GIF, right? So that means that the barrier to creation has been lowered, such that everybody can now create, whether it's PowerPoints, whether it's reports, whether it's anything, you can now create, because the barrier of creation has been lowered. So basically, what we are talking about here is to say the leap from personalized curation to personalized creation plus curation. That's the fundamental change that has happened from Web 2 all the way to Gen AI. So imagine you're at a buffet, right? You've gone for an event, you're at a buffet, and it's a big, big buffet, a massive one. Then Web 2.0 was like that buffet. You didn't cook, you didn't do anything, all you did was consume, right? So you didn't cook anything, but you got to choose what went onto your plate. News sites, blogs, Web 2 gave us all those tools to be able to curate what we liked. We could follow who we wanted and share it with a click. That was the beauty of Web 2.0. It was like a huge upgrade, right? From the days of the vinyl music, right? From the days of those encyclopedias in physical libraries. That was a big, big leap in advancement. Because Web 1.1 and before, it was like one size fits all. There was no data-driven personalization like we saw when Web 2.0 came through, right? But now, let's pretend we were chefs, right? Let's pretend we were chefs and we were diners with good taste. Do you understand that? Okay, I think I made a mistake. I'm just saying, let's pretend we are not chefs, but we are diners with good taste, right? So let's pretend we are not chefs. Now, something new has happened. The kitchen doors have swung open, and suddenly you can cook, right? Remember, you are used to going on the buffet, and just consuming the foods that's there laid out for you already, and you're just choosing which one do I want based on my keto diet or whatever program I am in, right? Now imagine the kitchen doors have been open, right? They've been swung open, and suddenly you can cook, not because you are better at cooking, not because you can even hold a knife, but because you now have an automated chef that knows your taste buds better than you, right? Imagine that's like Chat GPT for us. Chat GPT is like that automated chef, right? You are in the kitchen, you're cooking, but you don't even know how to cook, but you have a sous chef who can actually help you, who's automated and who understands you and knows your taste buds better than yourself. Right. So that's an analogy of generative AI versus Web 2.0. So back in Web 2.0, your feed was curated. You could subscribe to a YouTube channel. You could organize your RSS feed or like things via a timeline. So that was curation. It was useful, right? But the source of content still came from someone else. It wasn't you who was creating the content. Then fast forward to now, with tools like ChatGPT, Midjourney, Sora, you don't just choose, you create. From product descriptions to full-blown marketing campaigns, from social media captions to AI-generated websites, voiceovers, videos, you can now create. And it's as if the buffet now asks, would you like to design your own dish too? Right? Instead of going to the buffet and consuming what someone else has made, the buffet is asking you, do you want to design your own dish in real time? Does it make sense, right? So that's the most important thing. And the kicker is, you don't even need to be a professional chef. You give AI a few ingredients, that is a prompt, a photo. I mean, you saw how OpenAI has brought in that photo generation to another level. The texts are comprehensive now. They are not jumbled up like they used to. So that means that you can have photo inputs and ask it to be anime, a cartoon, or even do an infographic based on text as well. It's now easier to do, right? And then it comes out exactly as you needed it to be, right? Tailor made for you. So that is the truth. And the good part is that you cannot fight this trend because this trend is real. And they say that you put where your money where your mouth is. And this change, this revolution from Web 2.0 to generative AI is showing that there is money flowing, and that money is going to increase with time, right? The data doesn't lie. So it's not just hype, but the numbers are there for you to see. So like for generative AI content creation, the market was worth about $11.6 billion. That is in 2023. But if you fast forward now to 2033, that market is projected to grow all the way to $175.3 billion, right? That's not a curve, that's a rocket, right? We're seeing a 31.2% CAGR, right? Which means that more and more companies are betting on the shift. The shift is real. And we're seeing tangible use cases that even transcend the cyber world. They are now transcending into the physical. So the cyber physical divide has been blurred, and it's now got an AI driver in the background. So that is amazing. So in marketing alone, these are studies that our beloved McKinsey consultants did, right? They said that in marketing alone, hyper-personalized campaigns are going to increase 5x, that is their return on investment compared to generic ones. So it means that for you to actually get a bang for your money, you need to be using AI, because if you don't, you're going to lose out, because those that are using AI are going to get 5 times the return on investment compared to what you are getting, right? So it means as a brand, you have to make sure that you use AI in all you do, right? Then in education, you know that we've got AI tutors, and these tutors know you as a student better than your teacher. They know you to the nth degree, like to the most minute detail, as long as it's something that was shared with the AI, right? And it remembers even 10 years later, even 100 years later, it will remember. So that is a fundamental shift when it comes to education. So this evolution is not just limited to marketing. In education, AI systems can now analyze how you learn and adjust lessons accordingly, so that it's adaptive in nature. If you're breezing through a topic, it moves along with you. If you're stuck, it pauses, explains differently, tries another angle until you get the point. This isn't just smart, it's adaptive, it's dynamic and deeply personal. The dream of every learner, having their own tutor, is inching closer to reality. Don't forget that even back in the days when education was starting to get formalized, it was the rich people that had personal tutors, and the poor people were the ones who were learning in groups and classes. So it means that for you to be the aristocrat of the day in the AI age, you have to have a personal tutor, just like in the old days. But this time around, it's not just a tutor, it's an AI tutor that is based on evidence, on empirical evidence. And then they can infer based on that and be able to guide you better in a way that no human will be able to guide you. So that's important as well. So, what does it mean for creators, right? For creators, for example, like say you are using platforms like Acalytica, where maybe you're a musician, you're a freelancer, a coach, or even a startup that is just testing the market to see what's going on. So don't just share, generate data, generate information. Let it be dynamic, right? Do A/B tests, automated A/B tests based on people's preferences. So why is it that all of us have to come to a website and see the same thing? Maybe the time has come for personal experiences on websites. So your Amazon should not be my Amazon. Not just curation of the feed, but even the look and feel, even the based on my innate needs, the basic human needs to the core, right? So my Amazon should not be your Amazon, because we've got the ability to do so, right? So don't just curate content, but when you're creating those businesses and startups, make sure that you allow people to express themselves, because I think people have been talking about freedom of expression. And this is the first time that humanity has been given a tool that they can use with reckless abandon, without any bounds. It's only their creativity that is the enemy, because there are no boundaries as to what you can dream of. Mashups, you can think of mashups and come up with products, with websites, with apps, with documents around that. So if a system, whether it's an educational system, a health system, that is not moving with the times, is going to be archaic and non-relevant to the people who now have been exposed to the era of hyper personalized curation and creation. So what's the point? So the big shift is Web 2.0, let us choose what we like. Generative AI helps us make what we like. So that is the difference. We've gone from consumers and curators to creators and composers, often in seconds. And just like fire, the printing press, or the internet, this is a tool. It is something that we as human beings drive because it's a tool that we created. So it means we should not become subservient to it, but we should use it to push our agendas, to push humanity forward, to push our values. So in the hands of someone with curiosity and intent, it becomes a multiplier, not just of productivity, but of impact. You know the geopolitical complications that are abound in the world at the moment. So we as people from developing countries, we should be using these tools to plug those gaps in the development space, especially because we have the tools. They are at our fingertips. We could use those to scale our impact so that we can have lasting impact on our people, especially the marginalized. So remember, the main message for this shift is to say that we are no longer just consumers and curators of information, but we are the generators of information. Remember, Web 2.0 let us choose what we liked. Generative AI helps us make what we like. So I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about the shift from Web 2.0 to Gen AI. And I hope that someone out there has listened and comprehended, understood what I said, and hopefully will be able to multiply their impact. So this comes from Acalytica. Thank you very much. We appreciate your support and see you in the next video. Thank you.